You've seen the headlines, right? You've heard the promises. Eat this one food to unclog your arteries. This miracle meal scrubs your arteries clean. I get it. It's such a tempting idea that you can just eat your way out of a problem that's been building for decades. For years, as a health researcher, I thought I was living the perfect healthy lifestyle. I ate a low-fat diet, I ran marathons, I was doing everything right, or so I thought. Then, one routine test, a test I almost blew off, revealed something that absolutely floored me. It showed I had the arteries of someone 20 years older than I was. That was a profound, deeply personal wake-up call. And it was the moment I realized the story we're all being told about cleaning. Our arteries isn't just incomplete, it's dangerously misleading. In this video, we're going to tear that lie apart. We're going to expose the myth of the quick fix and show you the science-backed strategy that actually protects your heart for the long haul. This isn't about some magic pill or a single food. This is about understanding how your body really works and giving it what it needs to defend itself. So, if you've ever worried about what's going on inside your arteries, stick with me, because the truth is way more empowering than the lie. Let's just be brutally honest about the central myth here. The lie is that you can unclog your arteries like some dirty drain pipe. The visual is powerful, isn't it? You picture this thick, greasy sludge, and then some special food comes along like a drain cleaner and just dissolves it all away. That idea of dietary fat clogging a pipe? To be blunt, it's just wrong. It's a marketing gimmick, not biological reality. The real process, atherosclerosis, is way more complex and, frankly, way more fascinating. The problem isn't something just sitting on the surface of your artery wall. It's happening inside the wall itself. Think of your arteries less like simple pipes and more like living, dynamic organs. Their lining, the endothelium, is this delicate, single-cell thick layer that's meant to be smooth and flexible, but it can get injured. And what injures it? The usual suspects: high blood pressure, toxins from smoking, high blood sugar, and the big one, persistent inflammation. Now, this is where the story usually gets twisted. For decades, cholesterol, specifically LDL cholesterol, was painted as the ultimate bad guy, but that's only half the story. The scientific community now recognizes atherosclerosis as a chronic inflammatory disease. Inflammation isn't just a side effect, it's a key driver of the whole process. When your artery wall gets damaged and inflamed, your body does what it's programmed to do. It starts a healing response. So where does cholesterol fit in? Think of LDL cholesterol not as the villain, but as a first responder arriving at an accident. It's like a biological Band-Aid or spackle. Your body uses LDL to patch up those inflamed, injured spots in the artery wall. The problem starts when this whole process goes into overdrive. When the inflammation is chronic and LDL levels are high, the patches just get bigger and bigger. Immune cells called macrophages rush in to eat the cholesterol, turning into what are called foam cells. These foam cells, along with other gunk, build up within the artery wall, creating plaque. This plaque doesn't just narrow the artery, it's often unstable. The inflammation makes it fragile, and if it ruptures, it can trigger a blood clot that leads to a heart attack or stroke. So the real villain here isn't just cholesterol itself. It's the chronic underlying inflammation that kicks off the whole disastrous chain reaction. Just lowering your cholesterol without addressing the inflammation is like trying to fix a leaky roof by putting a bucket on the floor. You're not actually fixing the hole. This is why no single food can scrub your arteries. You can't just wash away a complex biological process happening deep inside the wall. Our goal isn't to unclog a pipe, because it was never a simple clog. The goal is to calm the inflammation, stabilize the plaque we have, and prevent new plaque from ever forming. And that, my friends, requires a totally different strategy. That shocking test result, it sent me down a rabbit hole. I had to unlearn decades of so-called wisdom and cut through all the noise from supplement ads and diet fads. I went straight to the clinical research, looking for the consensus from the world's leading heart organizations. And what I found was both incredibly simple and incredibly comprehensive. The secret wasn't hiding in some exotic berry. It was laid out in plain sight, backed by mountains of evidence. It's what the American Heart Association now calls Life's Essential 8. This is not a quick fix. It's a blueprint for a healthy life that targets the root causes of all that arterial damage. It's 8 key things split into 4 behaviors and 4 health factors. These are the pillars that, when you manage them together, create an environment where your arteries can truly thrive. Let's walk through them, because this framework is your first real step. First, the 4 health behaviors, the stuff you do every day. 1, eat better. This is the cornerstone, and we're going to spend a lot of time on what this really means. The AHA recommends an overall healthy eating pattern that includes whole foods, tons of fruits and vegetables, lean protein, nuts and seeds, and cooking with healthy oils. It's about the big picture, not obsessing over one nutrient. 2, be more active. The goal is pretty clear, at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity, like a brisk walk, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity, like jogging, every week. This isn't just about burning calories. Exercise is a powerful anti-inflammatory and makes your blood vessels work better. 3, quit tobacco. This one is an absolute non-negotiable. Using any inhaled nicotine product, cigarettes, vapes, you name it, is the leading cause of preventable death in the US and is responsible for about 1/3 of all deaths from heart disease. The chemicals directly torch your artery lining and spark a firestorm of inflammation. 4, get healthy sleep. This is a newer addition, and it shows how the science is always evolving. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Not getting enough is now seen as a major risk factor because it messes with your hormones, ramps up inflammation, and can raise blood pressure. Those are the actions. Now for the health factors, the numbers you need to know and track with your doctor. 5, manage weight. Keeping a healthy weight, usually a BMI under 25, just takes a massive load off your heart and lowers your risk for a bunch of other related problems. 6, control cholesterol. The key number here is your non-HDL cholesterol. It gives you a much clearer picture of the bad cholesterol particles that build plaque. Diet is huge here, but for some people, medication is a necessary and life-saving tool. 7, manage blood sugar. Over time, high blood sugar damages your artery walls, making them stiff and ready for plaque. This is all about preventing or managing prediabetes and type 2 diabetes through diet, exercise, and medication if needed. 8, manage blood pressure. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for good reason. It puts constant stress on your arteries, causing the very injuries that kickstart that whole inflammatory plaque process. The sweet spot is less than 120/80. When you look at this list, you see the truth. There's no magic bullet. Heart health isn't about one thing. It's about everything. It's a system. The lie of the artery unclogging meal is so popular because it offers a simple answer to a complex problem. But the real solution, the evidence-based strategy of Life's Essential 8, is so much more powerful because it attacks the problem from every angle. It doesn't just try to clean up the mess, it stops the mess from being made in the first place. Okay, so if we can't unclog our arteries, what's the eating strategy that actually works? The science points not to a single food, but to a powerful pattern of eating that's loaded with specific protective compounds. The goal is to fight the real enemy, inflammation and oxidative stress. The most studied and recommended pattern for this is the Mediterranean diet. And it's not a diet in the way we think of them. It's a way of life built around delicious, whole foods that all work together. Let's break down the key players in this strategy. This is the real magic. The science of how food actually talks to your body to protect your heart. First, let's talk about the compounds we're looking for. These are the active ingredients in our heart protective arsenal: antioxidants and polyphenols. Think of these as your body's personal security team. Inflammation creates unstable molecules called free radicals that damage your artery lining. Antioxidants, found in things like berries, dark chocolate, and tomatoes, swoop in and neutralize them. Omega-3, fatty acids. These are superstar anti-inflammatories. The most potent forms, EPA and DHA, found in fatty fish, are proven to reduce inflammation and lower triglycerides, another type of fat in your blood. Fiber, especially soluble fiber. Fiber is the unsung hero. Soluble fiber, found in oats, beans, and apples, forms a gel in your gut. This gel actually grabs onto cholesterol and escorts it out of your body. It's one of the most direct ways your diet can lower LDL. Dietary nitrates. Don't confuse these with the preservatives in processed meats. These are natural compounds in leafy greens and beets. Your body turns them into nitric oxide, a crucial molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and widen, improving blood flow and lowering blood pressure. Now let's go find them on the grocery shelves. This is your shopping list for a resilient heart. We'll go through each one and explain why it works. 1. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. Number 1, and it's at the top for a reason. These fish are the best source of those omega-3s, EPA and DHA. Studies show that eating fish 2 to 3 times a week is linked to a lower risk of atherosclerosis. Think of it as actively cooling the fire of inflammation in your artery walls. 2. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Berries are like little antioxidant bombs. They are packed with flavonoids, especially anthocyanins, which give them those rich colors. These compounds are proven to reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and help your arteries function better. 3. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. Your mom was right. Leafy greens are the #1 source of those dietary nitrates. By boosting nitric oxide, they help your blood vessels chill out and be more flexible, which directly lowers blood pressure. Studies have repeatedly shown that a higher intake of leafy greens is associated with a significantly lower risk of heart disease. 4. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. This family of veggies contains unique sulfur compounds that have potent anti-inflammatory effects. Research has directly linked eating more of these vegetables with having thinner, healthier artery walls, a clear sign of less plaque buildup. 5. Tomatoes and tomato products. The star here is lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. And what's wild is that your body absorbs it much better when tomatoes are cooked, especially with a healthy fat like olive oil. That's why a traditional tomato sauce can be a heart health powerhouse. 6. Beans and legumes, chickpeas, lentils, black beans. Beans are true superfoods, mainly because of their incredible soluble fiber. A diet rich in beans is proven to significantly lower LDL cholesterol. That's that gel-like fiber doing its job, grabbing cholesterol and showing it the door. 7. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, flax seeds. Don't fear the fat in nuts. They're full of healthy fats, fiber, and protein. Walnuts are a great source of plant-based omega-3s, and almonds are packed with vitamin E. Just a small handful a day is a simple, effective strategy. 8. Extra virgin olive oil. The cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet for a reason. It's rich in healthy monounsaturated fat, but critically, it's also packed with polyphenols, potent anti-inflammatory agents that improve blood vessel function. Make sure it's extra virgin to get the biggest benefit. 9. Whole grains, oats, barley, quinoa. The key player here is a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which is a beast at lowering LDL cholesterol. Starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal is one of the most powerful, evidence-based breakfasts you can eat. 10. Bonus foods, garlic, beets, dark chocolate. A few others deserve a shout-out. Aged garlic extract has shown promise in slowing plaque progression. Beets are another fantastic source of nitrates. And yes, you have my permission. A small amount of dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, is beneficial thanks to its flavonols, which improve blood vessel flexibility. The main takeaway here is that these foods work as a team. It's about building a diet where these foods are the stars, creating a constant supply of protective compounds that defend your arteries 24/7. Knowing the what is one thing, but the how is where the change happens. So let's turn this food list into a practical daily strategy. It's not complicated. Just follow the Mediterranean pattern. Visualize your plate. Aim for this simple structure. Half your plate, non-starchy vegetables, a big salad, steamed broccoli, sautéed spinach. This is your foundation for fiber and antioxidants. 1/4 of your plate, lean protein. Prioritize beans, lentils, or fatty fish. 1/4 of your plate, high fiber carbs. Think quinoa, brown rice, or barley. Here's what that can look like in a sample day. This isn't a strict rule book, just a template to show you how good this can be. Breakfast, the cholesterol-lowering powerhouse. The meal, a bowl of oatmeal made with rolled oats. The toppings, a big handful of mixed berries, a tablespoon of ground flax seeds, and a few chopped walnuts. Why it works. You're starting your day with a triple threat. The oats lower your LDL, the berries flood your system with anti-inflammatories, and the walnuts and flax seeds bring fiber and omega-3s. Lunch, the nitrate-rich revitalizer. The meal, a huge power salad. The base, a mix of dark greens like spinach and arugula. The add-ins, tomatoes, cucumbers, chickpeas, maybe some shredded beets. The dressing, a simple vinaigrette with extra virgin olive oil and lemon juice. Ditch the creamy, sugary bottled stuff. Why it works. This is a nitrate supercharged meal. The greens and beets boost nitric oxide, helping your blood vessels relax. The chickpeas and veggies provide fiber, and the olive oil dressing delivers those amazing polyphenols. Dinner, the omega-3 main event. The meal. Let's build the Dutch One best meal for your arteries. The main, a fillet of baked or grilled salmon. The sides, a big serving of steamed broccoli and roasted garlic next to a portion of lentils or quinoa. Why it works. This one meal is a symphony of heart protection. You get the anti-inflammatory omega-3s from the salmon, the artery-protecting compounds from the broccoli, and the cholesterol-lowering fiber from the lentils. It's a meal that is actively working for you. Snacks, smart and satisfying. Snacking is where good intentions go to die, but it doesn't have to. A handful of raw almonds, an apple with some natural nut butter, a couple of squares of real dark chocolate, hummus with bell pepper strips. The goal is consistency, not perfection. You don't have to be perfect, but by making this pattern the foundation of how you eat, you shift your body from a state of chronic inflammation to one of healing and protection. This isn't a 30-day cleanse, it's a delicious, sustainable strategy that will serve your heart for a lifetime. We've covered a ton of ground, and I really hope this has cleared up the confusion. It's not about a single magic meal, it's about a long-term strategy to stop the damage before it starts. The power is truly on your plate and in your daily choices. Look, if this video helped you understand the truth about protecting your arteries, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're dedicated to bringing you more health info that cuts through the noise. And my challenge for you today is simple. Don't try to change everything at once. Just take one small step. Maybe it's swapping your breakfast for that oatmeal powerhouse. Maybe it's finally making a doctor's appointment to know your numbers. Or maybe it's just adding a side of spinach to your dinner tonight. Pick one thing. Start there. The journey to a healthy heart starts by letting go of the seductive lies we've been fed. The idea that we can abuse our bodies for years and then erase the damage with one unclogging food is a fantasy, and a dangerous one at that. The truth is both more complex and way more empowering. Atherosclerosis is a chronic inflammatory disease, and our best defense is a comprehensive, lifelong strategy. It's about embracing life's essential 8. It's about building your diet around a symphony of protective foods that work together to fight inflammation. It's understanding that every single meal is an opportunity to either fuel that fire or to help put it out. The shock of my own test results was a gift. It forced me to look past the myths and find the truth. And the truth is, while we may not be able to completely reverse plaque with diet alone, we absolutely have the power to halt its progression, make it less dangerous, and build a cardiovascular system that's strong for decades to come. That's not a lie. That's a promise backed by science. Thanks for watching.